As we welcome you back into our Premier League studios, Cara Banks alongside Robbie Earle and Danny Higginbotham. Guys, it was much needed. We spoke so much about this kind of mid-season slump that Chelsea had been experiencing. What positives do you take from them tonight? Well,
the 3 points was important, gets them back into the top four. It was an example of what Chelsea are about. Lots of potential, and you can see the goals threat, but not perfect. I thought there was a 15-minute spell in that game that decided 45 minutes to 60 minutes. Second half at 1-1, the game was in the balance. You weren't sure at times which way it was going to go. Chelsea got through it, had good game management, got the second goal, went on, and once they got the second, then you start to see the confidence in the normal play. But there was a 15-minute spell. We talked about the experience. Sometimes you've got to go through it. There was 15 minutes today that they went through and have come out the other side. And that's the biggest thing I can take away from today.
Danny, how different were Chelsea after scoring the second goal than they were after scoring the first goal and then obviously led an equaliser?
It is. It's the relief. And I think the home fans have a huge part to play as well, because as young players, you can be affected by, by the fans, whether it's loud, whether it's quiet. And we talk about this being a very young squad, which it is, but I want to give great credit to Maresca. It's only his second full season as a manager. And, what he said at half-time, he would have reset everything, got the players to calm down, because he's still learning as well. So I think, as Robbie's quite rightly said, the 45 to 60 minutes, I think that's what won them the game. But that was probably a lot to do with what Maresca did and the things that he was telling the younger players, obviously, during half-time.
I'd like to mention one player as well, who wasn't brilliant on the ball and wasn't, like, eye-catching. Moises Caicedo could become the leader that Chelsea wanted. We talked about there's not a John Terry, there's not that type in this group, but this young guy who was bought for a lot of money and much maligned last season, his game's developing, his game's maturing, he's in the central midfield position, so he's attached to the defenders behind him, he's attached to the attackers in front of him. I think he could grow into being a real important leader, almost captain for this football club. I know Reece James has got the role at the moment, but Moises Caicedo, just keep watching his development, because it's coming slowly, even when it's not that eye-catching on the ball.
And I think we forget that sometimes. Some of these young players at Chelsea were brought in for unbelievable amounts of money. So straight away, that brings the pressure. And for younger players, it's difficult to deal with that. But the fact that we're talking about Caicedo and we're not talking about his transfer fee, we're talking about it as if it's like, no, that's good, it's good business. That's going to help them evolve as players.
Yes, 60th and 65th minute is when those second and third goals came. They ultimately were the difference maker. It was a wonderful night at home for Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. They needed the 3 points. They've moved up inside the top four back in the Premier League.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And if you want even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.